Hey guys, Gareth Jones here again. I wanted to talk about what we know as standards and how important high standards are, and the stress that we receive in the community from having high standards. The reason why I wanted to bring it up is because it's a little bit tricky to say you need to have high standards. And the reason why is not because I don't think that you should shoot for the best, shoot for the stars and you'll at least land on the moon, or some, whatever, shoot for the moon, whatever that crap is. But because a lot of guys end up using this as an excuse that covers their fear of commitment or limits the amount of investment that they have in a relationship. Now, many of you guys may know I'm in a relationship right now, and what I can tell you about that maybe some people don't know, or just from my perspective, is that love and love and very strong feelings for a person come from investment. They come from an investment and growth in that relationship. You are not going to discover love. Love is going to be grown. Love is going to produce, like, it's going to grow in a way where it will become stronger and stronger in that relationship, hopefully. Now, why this is such an important part is because a lot of guys I've discovered, specifically if they're going on Tinder. We were talking the other day about a guy, one of my students, who goes on a lot of Tinder dates and has not been able to find his perfect girl. And I warned him, and I'll warn you now, and for anybody in the same situation, that you're not going to find the perfect girl right off the bat, right? So there are many situations in which you can go out with a beautiful girl. Like we know that we've been out with beautiful girls and that she just falls flat, right? She's great to look at. She's the type of girl that will walk by on the street and you'll go, oh my gosh, I would cut off my right leg to walk down the street with her. And we've been on dates with that girl where we find out, maybe she's not really intelligent or has no goals or really isn't that pleasant, isn't a kind person. So we know from those experiences that we can't judge a book by its cover. Now the problem is that a lot of people don't actually realize, a lot of guys don't actually realize that you should never judge a book by its cover. In our classes we stress things like qualification to really find out what she's made of and who she is. But understand also, however important that is, you may not always get the truth. And I'm not saying that anybody, specifically women, are liars, but a lot of people don't understand. So when we go into a situation and we say, what would you do if, maybe we're qualifying a girl, and we say, what would you do if a waiter knocked over a really expensive glass of wine on your lap? Maybe she says, oh God, I would freak out. That would be clumsy and ridiculous. And you instantly check off and you say, oh, well, no, she can't handle the pressure, or she's rude to other people. This isn't the girl I want. And maybe in reality, she wouldn't. Maybe in the reality, she'd take a look at the waiter and go, oh man, that stinks. I can read the look on his face. I can see how mortified he is. I don't want to make that worse. Or maybe it's the complete opposite. Maybe she has all the right answers, but doesn't actually behave in that way. Now, it's qualification linguistically is a very, very important part of the initial interactions that you have with somebody, right? So we know back in the day, we're when we're studying older methods, we're actually working towards proving ourselves to the girl, right? It's like DHVs, displays of higher value, demonstrations of higher value. We have these stories we want to tell girls to make her like us, and then we're moving more into what we call qualification, where we're actually finding out if we want to be with that person. Well, understand that qualification does not just happen in the first conversation or the first date. It happens over a long period of time. I've been with people that maybe weren't the most attractive girl on the planet, or maybe weren't the coolest people on the planet, but they've turned out to possess qualities that you had no idea that you even wanted, that were so admirable and so fantastic that you didn't even want to take them away for a second in your life. So when we talk about standards, understand that it is great to say, I only want to date a beautiful girl, but that beauty changes. Your impression of a person's beauty can completely change based on the amount of time that you've spent with them, or even what you learned about them, right? I'll only date girls that I'm attracted to. It's the same thing. Attraction is not just beauty. attraction can be based on a ton of other things. There are people I've been with where I remember thinking, it's not the prettiest girl in the world, but I'll go out with her, and then I've had tons of fun, and they've become integral and amazing parts of my life, and I've instantly become so enamored of them that they do look like one of the most beautiful girls in my life, right? We need a girl with a job. Well, what about that 19-year-old that is still in college, that, you know, may turn out to be this incredible CEO or this incredible scientist or this incredible humanitarian. But if you say, oh, I need a girl that can support herself, well, maybe that's not the right time in her life. Maybe you won't find that. So when we talk about standards, standards are very, very important to understand that there are guidelines that we need to operate by, but that there are always exceptions to the rule. In this conversation that I had yesterday with a past student of mine, he was saying that even he regretted letting some people go because of what seemed like stupid reasons after the fact. So without getting too convoluted into this, I really want to suggest and highly encourage you to give people the benefit of the doubt and allow them to grow. Allow yourself to grow with them. You know, I always say it's kind of like a buffet, right? Going on dates and meeting women and bringing women into your life isn't like going to a restaurant and ordering an entree. We all know the women that go on 2 dates and then go, okay, are you my boyfriend or not? And you know, some of us that come from kind of, I don't want to say polyamorous, but from the mindset of dating lots of different people at the beginning until we really discover something about a human being, kind of get shocked about that. Whether we haven't decided whether or not we want to be with them, it is a bit silly to commit, especially when you don't know if you want that person full time in your life, right? So allow that person to grow, because it's not, like I said, it's not like going into a restaurant and ordering an entree and then saying, this is it, I have to finish it, I either like it or I don't. It's like going around a buffet and then taking a little bit of something, which is like going on a date with a girl and saying, do I like this? Maybe I like it. You know, maybe I like it enough to have a little bit more. Maybe I want to try some other things. Maybe I don't like that, or I do like this a lot. And then spending time with it. You know, they have that classic Coke versus Pepsi taste test where, you know, you give somebody a little bit of Coke and they're like, well, I like the Pepsi better, you know, like a little bit of Pepsi. But Coke was outselling Pepsi because people couldn't drink that much Pepsi. You know, people were realizing that a little bit of Pepsi tasted better because of the sugar, but over the long run, there's too much sugar. So it shows that we have to grow with these things, you know, and as long as we spend a considerable amount of effort understanding where she's coming from and being sensitive and understanding of her feelings, then these are all options that are totally rational and completely, you know, make quite a bit of sense. So really be aware of your standards and focus on allowing yourself and the relationship to grow. You know, allowing yourself to grow with that person and allowing your relationship to grow, because it may turn into something that you didn't expect. If you guys have ever had a situation where you weren't certain whether or not you liked somebody and then turned out to be great friends, or turned out to be great lovers, or turned out to be girlfriends, or something like that, you know, I'd love to hear about it. Post comments on the YouTube video down below, or post them straight on my Facebook, or even send them to my email at gareth@artoftheplayboy.com. Either way, I'd love to hear them all, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. For more information, head on over to artoftheplayboy.com, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.